that good for you? The meeting is being recorded?
Yes, so.
Okay.
By the way.
Yeah.
All right, now you can go.
All right. Well, it's my pleasure to welcome and introduce Dawn Majors, our juror for the Preston show. Dawn is an award-winning photojournalist, currently now a state photographer, travels this grand state, north, south, east, and west, has many stories to tell on that front, and also has, as Carl mentioned earlier, some fabulous photos up at the Lasky Gallery at the Scarrett Bennett Center. So we can send out that link to remind everybody to go see it. It's up for another couple of months, or for the end of next month. And I am thankful they did a great description of her photography there, and it's the kind of description of her that I'm going to use for the artistic intro. Dawn Major's photos are a quiet exploration of the intersection of nature and humanity's odd creations. When you see her photos, this is a perfect sentence for what she's doing. Comma, with a gentle affirmation of her own identity. At once painterly and specific, macabre and whimsical, Major's full-on embrace of her cell phone as a tool shows a jaunty appreciation for pedestrian discoveries with an escapist appeal. I mean, these photos are fabulous. So if you weren't interested in going now, before you heard that, maybe having heard that, you will just go straight to the Lasky Gallery. But without we're interested to see how this whimsical, macabre, painterly, distinguished photographer, what her comments are on the photos that she has selected for our Preston show, which was titled Contemporary Photographers Look at the South. So let's give a warm welcome to Dawn. Thank you.
All right, guys, this is going to be pretty informal. I'll tell you a little bit about the process of choosing, which is probably every photographer's process for choosing. But when you get a grouping of photographs, and you look at them as a whole, it's very easy to decide which ones stand out from the rest. And then after you determine which ones stand out, then you go back in for another look to try and see what makes your choices interesting. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, photos either sing or they don't, even the quiet ones. And so in that process, it made it very easy to judge all of these photographs. I mean, I went back and forth a few times. I think I even sent out an email to Emily, and I won't say it caused a bit of a panic, but it made you question some things, because there were some of you all's images that for me were on the edge of being something that sang, but they just needed a little bit of help. And so that's one of the things that as a photographer and as you learn and grow, you start to understand more. And I think it might have been, I'm not exactly sure whose it was. I think this first image is one that I asked for it to be cropped to make it into the show. And so it's going to be super informal. And so I'm not sure whose image am I looking at right now? Anybody here? Oh, okay. All right. So one of the reasons why I chose your image was because it almost looks like a two-tone image. All of the colors are very muted, I liked your seeing with the in the signage. In the signage, you can see that the color of the car matches it. It's either sunset-esque, so you've got a lot of gold in the sky that I could see, So it was very nice muted tones. And then you had this big pop of blue in the sky. And the only thing that was taking away from that was that there was too much sky. And so the moment you brought that down, and I'm not sure if you actually cropped it, I'm not sure if this is the actual cropped image.
No, I actually agree with you. I turned that in last night.
Okay.
For something to put it in, and I was looking at it too, and I thought, crop this down tighter, and it was like, running that crop, so screw it.
Ah.
In the show, it's crop, I don't know. 15
Yeah, right. And it just puts the focus right on what you want it to, which is the way you played with the colors in the sign and the car. And I know as a photographer, unless that was your car, a lot of this is happenstance. But the fact that you noticed that, and I don't know, did you notice that beforehand or afterwards or at all? Any of the,
shot several people over there.
right.
As soon as I looked through the box, that was the one.
Okay, so you just knew because it sang for you. So that's what I like. You know, the black on black and then the brown on brown, and you've got this nice bright dividing line or dividing horizon between the blue sky and the car. And it just needed a little bit of help getting there. So that's why I chose this one. In during the show, it was like, hey, Emily, some of these are on the edge. They could be elevated. And then I think they'd be, a fine choice for the show. So thank you for listening and not thinking that I was destroying your art. I would.
Honestly, I was thinking this thing.
Okay, well, good. Okay, so we'll go to the next one here. Yep, it worked just fine. Is the artist, okay, perfect, great. Crossroad shots are always great. You've got all these nice leading lines taking us different places. It makes the frame very interesting. I like your use of the sepia tone look, given the old buildings and giving the photo a little bit of look of nostalgia, even though you've got this very modern looking truck in the frame. So that was nice. And it was well executed. And that's another thing. I mean, even if you're looking at art that doesn't necessarily speak to you, you can't look past a photographer who's understands what they're doing and executed something really well. And so with that, and I think I even had you come down on the sky for this one to bring the focus back to the crossroads and all of your leading lines to just kind of take you on a journey with this truck through this little small town. No? That's not yours?
That's mine, though. That's what I think.
Oh, is this one not in the show?
It's in the show.
Okay.
He wasn't on your thing, your crop.
Oh, he wasn't on the list. So this is your crop.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Most of them are.
Okay, all right. Well, then that's fine. Nice crop. It looks good. Yeah, I would do the exact same thing. So that's why I chose this one. This one was very well executed and it's got just like a nice nostalgic feel. So forget I'm in control. This is just beautiful, well executed. That was easy. Yours as well. Nice toning, nice light. It's just very well done. I wouldn't have changed anything. That's why I chose it. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. Next one. Strawberry Festival? Huh? Tomato. Okay. Anybody? The artist here? Oh. I chose this one because it had great color and depth. So, and it was fun and it looked very different from a lot of the other images that were turned in, and the old photojournalist in me understands. this kind of image. So that's why I chose this one. And I don't think I gave you any tips on cropping or changing or anything like that. So do you have any questions? Are you good? Okay. Who? You again? Same again. Great energy, nice color. You cropped well, and you've got a lot of information about what she's yelling about in the frame, and just had really good energy. So yours again? Okay. Same. I loved looking at all the faces, reading all the signs. I no longer, not that I ever could, participate in any of these kinds of things. So it's always fun for me to see what other people get the opportunity to do that I can't do. So this was fun. And it's just like a nice intersection of all kinds of people coming together for one cause, even though there's different concerns.
Can you explain a little bit about why you can't do something like that?
Because of the nature of my work. So I have to be, as a journalist, I had to be really neutral about everything. And now as a state employee, I have to be really neutral about everything because, because I work with a lot of people who have, a lot of people who I need for them to understand my role. And my role is there to document them, not make some big statement or whatever. So it doesn't mean that I'm not with you in my heart, but I have to like keep that pretty close because as you all know, as photographers, you can either be someone's best friend or biggest enemy. And so it's important that people know where you stand. So that's why I don't. Photographer?
So that's very real.
Okay. This is really well executed. I mean, it was real simple. Nice leading lines, nice pop of color, keeps your attention, nice light. The whole thing. I'm not sure, what does he shoot with that he's got this kind of lens baby? Okay, is that his thing? Okay. Okay, well, he has set his style and it shows, and this is very well executed. This, right, but I chose it because it's stunning, of course, and nice colors, and I imagine this is like New Orleans, maybe? Probably. I imagine this is New Orleans. Yeah, with the graves and everything in the water. It's just, that's great. Yeah. These, they have impact. And of course, I love black and white. And they are very contemporary and they speak to the current climate in across the country. And so I think it's a very important issue. Once again, the same. I won't get into too much, but it says something to me that even today, people are still willing to put their bodies on the line to make this country better. And I just love, for that reason, I just love these piles of bodies. It says that, and it really shows how tense the situation is and how real it is for this country. So it's great. And once again, I can't be there. So I find it fascinating to see the kinds of things that other people get a chance to see. Same goes for this. In a way, it is a sign picture lots of sign pictures, but I think having this young African-American man at the forefront and all of this sea of different kinds of faces really speaks to how you've got one group of people that specifically are targeted, and that's the Black male. But then you can see all of the support from a lot of different kinds of people around him, a lot of women. So I found that intriguing. Sea Rock City. Is that yours? Oh, hey, Denny, hey.
Yeah.
Well executed. I don't think that I gave any comments on this one at all. And it's just very nice. I like it a lot. Again, the nostalgia thing. And I follow you on Facebook, so I always see your stuff and I'm like, I'm sitting at my desk. Look what Denny's doing. So, but the leading lines, the crossroads kind of thing going on is kind of storytelling. And you, once again, like I said, you executed it very well. So, okay. Oh, it's still active. Oh, cool. Do you photograph there or no?
I haven't been by there much, just that everything.
Gotcha. One, I don't know what, I mean, I imagine a number of you have been shooting for a really long time. So, but one of the things that I've learned is the kind of clouds you have in a day of shooting can turn something into an okay picture into something much more dramatic and cool looking. So I like that a lot. Also, yes. In the same area or?
No, it's in Dixon County.
Okay, yeah. Just, right, just a really nice frame, just well executed. And nice light, and of course the gray clouds. So, okay, so this one, okay. So this is funny. This one I went back for, and I'll tell you why, because the more I looked at it, the funnier I thought that it was. I mean, you've got her with her chest out, the bride looking almost very plain compared to the people that are flanking her. And this guy on the edge with his chest out too. And he's just as proud as this girl here with her chest out. And it just became hilarious. So good seeing. I don't know what made you take the photograph, but like I said, you know, this is a little bit quieter and it's easy to overlook something like this, but that's why you do 2 or 3 runs to make sure you're catching everything. So tell me a little bit about this photo if you can. I'm just curious. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where that breaks down is if I really, really want to take a picture, and then there's the big stuff. So like I can be on automatic or something recorded on the radio scene.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe something that's really important to me, all of a sudden. So I can't comment on that. Don't remember that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, but when you discovered it, what was your thinking about entering it into the show? Like, what was your impression of it?
Well, I have to give
Oh, okay.
When she was telling us about this, she said, well, Preston is willing to accept edgy photographs.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking through mine, I thought, well, this is good.
Mhm.
And that was the basis.
Okay.
But I do.
So you didn't build a little story in your head about it, like like I did about what was going on.
Well, to me, people just amaze me. And I have to tell you, when I look at this picture, I look at people that are just absolutely amazing. So, yes, there is that just blown my mind. What are you thinking?
Well, he's thinking that he's just as hot to trot as this girl is over here. That's what he's thinking.
She's thinking she's pretty hot.
Yeah, exactly. But it just cracked me up. So good job. But like I said, I was like, huh, let me look at this one again. And I just started laughing once I really like put it all together. And then this is yours as well. Great energy, great like expression. It is hot. This picture makes me realize how hot it is. Yeah, no, that's great. Great expression.
I saw that lady in person, and this is a picture I wanted, and this is where I qualified. So when I had my second chance, it was good on that second.
Yeah, nice. No, this if I were to have one on my wall, I would pick this one. Hint. Just kidding. Photographer? Anybody online?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, who's I don't see a
Durwood.
face.
Durwood's online. I'll pull him up. Oh, Durwood does not have his camera on.
Oh,
but
okay.
He's right there.
Okay, Durwood. Well, this is one that I looked at and then I was like, okay, I knew that it had nice lines and it was, well executed. And I had to like really think about how well it would play with a lot of the other images that were coming in. But I mean, basically, it's just a nice shot and you use the lines well, making the joggers in karate suits look a part of the landscape. So I just thought that it turned out to be a beautiful landscape. And so this is why I ended up choosing this one, if that makes sense. You can ask me questions about it if you'd like. Once again, we got dramatic clouds and you've got the waves crashing and you've got these guys who look like they might be able to beat you up coming towards you. So it looked like a nice storm headed your way.
Was I correct that that was Durwood? Your name came up as speaking when that came up.
That's mine, yes. And I don't think it needs to be talked about. It just happened and it was wonderful.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. Yes, and it was chosen. It looks like film.
Emily's asking if that was film or digital.
Oh, it's definitely digital.
Oh, wow. Looks like film.
Okay. Looks like T-Max 3.
I could get into a lot of things about this one. Who's the photographer here?
That's mine too.
Oh, okay. I mean, this is also another landscape, and without getting too political, I guess, those tattered flags look about like they need to come down. And, in a contemporary society, I feel like they've outgrown their purpose, and it's good that they're falling apart because they never should have been flown in the first place. They're outdated and they look outdated. And I think that's an important message that you're sending there by having photographed that. So, well, I'll keep it brief, Durwood, but I've got all kinds of thoughts on that.
Oh, me too.
This is just lovely. And I'm not sure of the process. It almost looks like it was printed with some kind of special paper. I'd love to hear about the process.
Well, I don't remember. I did a lot to that picture.
Okay.
I was out shooting birds, and this is a really crisp shot.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of time making it look cheap.
You succeeded, Durwood. I love that one.
Yeah, this is great. It's very, to steal the term painterly, this is nice. It looks like a little piece of art, as it is. So, yeah.
And I titled it after a poem, 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird. And this is number 9.
No, I've never heard the poem. Now I'm interested. 31 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird. I'll have to look that up. But
Might be 33.
33 ways. Well, 33 is a good number. But no, it was a standout. I didn't have any doubt. It was obvious at the beginning. So,
Thank you.
once again, another beautiful landscape.
That's mine too.
Oh, okay. Well, Durwood, you just had a sweeps week when I chose these. I think this was a crop one. No? Okay. Emily's telling me no.
No,
Beautiful. Well executed.
Well, what I like about Durwood is so different. I mean, you wouldn't say, oh, here's another Durwood.
Well, clearly.
what was that comment?
I said clearly. Oh, she said that your images are so different, you wouldn't be able to look at just one picture and say there's a Durwood.
Indeed.
Well, then the next comment was most of us that know Durwood know that's a Durwood.
I'm a frog freak.
Yeah, okay. Well then, hey.
And for everybody in the room, Laura Carpenter has sent us a chat message and she put the link to 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird. So if you just
Nice.
Google it, it's out there. Thanks, Laura.
Nice. All right. Durwood, is this one yours as well?
That's mine.
Okay. No, Emily, thanks a lot, Durwood. All right. So this is beautiful. Night sky, very picturesque. Warm tones. Is this your house?
No, it's a
Okay.
beach house.
It's a beach house. This just transports you, especially looking at it during a pandemic. It's just a nice image to just transport you away from the day-to-day. And those warm, rich tones just make that little cottage look so inviting. You just want to crawl into the picture and disappear. So that's why I chose this one. It was just lovely. So
I will comment that the moon was rising on this side, at the beach, the ocean side,
mm-hmm.
and the sun is setting behind.
Nice.
So all that
Warm.
is, nature's lighting.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm new on a tripod with long exposure, so it probably took me 80 attempts to get that.
Well, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And I've actually solved
Oh, nice. Well, yes, because it's very inviting. Great. It was worth the 80 attempts. Okay, I do know this is one of my crop children.
Gerald
Mhm.
did not.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in my mind, because I'm a 35 millimeter kind of girl, and that's that's been my whole world. I'm more interested in like the lines and focal points and different things like that, but that's from my background. So, but I found the photo interesting, and I don't know, I don't remember the title of this one, but it looks like it's called Trash City. Yeah, development. Well, yes, there's that. No, the skyline will never be the same here. So I chose this one just primarily out of just, it was just interesting. Lots of little things to look at. Ooh, okay, lovely. It just was lovely and well executed. And I love the rich tones. And I don't know if you did a filter in Photoshop or.
Well, I did it.
Okay, okay,
I didn't really change the grains, but it does have a lot of texture.
okay. That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't do you like import your textures or do you layer them on? What's your
You have to
process?
place it, or that's the technique I use, right, click on the texture and place it in there and you adjust the opacity and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Do you like have textures that you have presets?
Well, you can buy packages of them.
Oh, okay.
And I've gotten several different ones that mix and match. what I decided.
Okay. Well, nice, very nice. This one's also very warm and inviting, and it's definitely something you want to see. You would love to see hanging on your wall. Is this the one that made it into the? Yes. Well, then I'm glad that I was brilliant enough to choose it as well. No, it was one of the. It was one of the ones that stood out to me right from the start. So good job. That's lovely, and I love how it goes from dark to light. That's classic landscape style. So nice. Yours as well? Yes. I like that. Did you find those like that or did you tie? That's great.
why it's so special. And the notes on there say, thank you for doing so. dot, dot, dot."
Nice.
You're supposed to be sort of like a gratitude.
Oh,
practice or
cool.
something. And I just thought that was really cool.
Is that like you just found it random walking or?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's lovely.
It's actually the latest shot magazine.
Okay. Nice. Nice reflection, nice texture and colors. Kind of reminds me a little bit of something I would have done had that been my image. Who?
John Wilder. Online.
See if John's on here. John, is this yours? You're muted.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, this is nice. It's it stood out. I love the rust and the texture mixed in. You can see the river and people. It just had a lot of depth and a lot of interest. And you did a really good job toning it because your the ratio between your contrast ratio was really intense. So I don't know how you toned it, but I know that you had to work really hard to. Unless, do you have a neutral density filter or a polarizer? Is that what helped?
No, that's, in fact, it's, I probably did less on this one than I normally do.
Wow, nice. Is this film or digital?
It's seriously shot with my Nikon.
Okay. Okay. Well, I enjoy it. This is really nice. Yeah. Just lovely. I love light pictures. They're always so great. Reminds me of just the heavens opening up and, just kind of at the risk of being corny, just like showing you a gift and you just follow the light as photographers. That's what we do. And I'm not sure whose this is, but you followed the light well.
This is mine, and I was living on a farm, and that's what I saw every morning.
Oh my gosh. Wow. It's gorgeous. And Keith, you did take my cropping advice, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, yeah.
Did you, and so you agreed, did you?
Yeah, it brought the voice forward.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, it's about the light, but you've got this great, perfectly framed. I mean, it's almost like the horse is posing for you in this shot because it's not like half his head cut off by the fence or anything. He's just like, I'm going to place my head. It's almost like like a studio portrait shot. Oh, I'm having my picture made, you know, it was great. But I love dramatic light. It's one of my favorite things in photography. So, is this 35 millimeter digital?
This is actually film.
Okay.
Tri-X.
Oh, no, yes,
That's
lovely
awesome.
Tri-X. Yes.
And actually, if I don't crop it and blow it up big, like, you know, like almost 40 by 30 or something, then you get both. It works better if the print is big.
Okay.
Which in the show it was in, it was 44 by 30.
Okay. All right. Well, I love how the light just follows right out of the frame here, or you can see that the leading lines here, the light just, I don't know if you can see my hand. This, it takes you right to the horse. Even though you've got all this light spilling and you've got this huge kind of spectral highlight that this added bonus of this reflection just keeps bringing everything back to your focal point. So I really enjoyed that.
And just so you guys know, online, the monitors are not blown out like that. It's just appearing like that in this little thumbnail. So
I don't know if
it looks
you-
good on the screen.
Can you see?
Here's what he's looking. Well, he knows the area you're pointing
Okay.
at, but it just the highlights are blown out.
Yeah, no, that's just lovely.
So just know that it looks great on the screens that we're seeing.
Okay. Nice pattern, light. I love it. Looks black and white. You've got that one little pop of color. You've got this little mound of broccoli. Whose image is this?
It's also mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just lovely. Just great seeing. Is this a drone shot? Where are you?
No, actually, I was flying into Fort Myers,
Oh.
and I always pick a window seat, and I looked. It was just like there, just like that.
Nice.
The way they were curving around and doing everything. It's just aim and shoot.
And it's just interesting because all of these different wave patterns can take you all through the frame, and you can see so many different things. Like I found these waves curious because they look different than any other waves, and they just kind of start here and come in. But then you've got these boiling in your pot with your pot of broccoli there. Yes, like
a
the
sand
ray.
sculpture.
Yeah.
Pop of blue.
It's a pop
Yeah.
of blue. Yeah, that's what makes it. It doesn't work without that blue. So good eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Laura. Is Laura here?
She's online. Laura, you're muted right now. There you are.
Yeah. Hey, Laura.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah. Go see my show. We have a lot to talk about. This is another image that's a lot like something I would shoot. And I don't know, is this in camera?
It's
Double
in camera.
exposure.
It's a Holga.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
it's sadly it's this wonderful film that is no longer made. It's Fuji 400 120, and they
Nice.
stopped manufacturing it. My heart is broken. So it's a double exposure.
Double exposure. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. No, this is just, once again, very warm and inviting, but you've got these interesting lines intersecting. I see a little bulb, little lights right there in each of the, like kind of creating these little separate rooms, and you've got all this natural light. I mean, I don't want to get to like empty chair, but it's just very well executed. It's very nice, and it's great kind of happenstance. I don't know, with the Hulk, I don't think you plan it, or did you plan the double expose over this?
This was actually a planned double
Okay.
exposure instead of one of the many accidental
Okay.
Holga. So I shot a bunch just to sort of see what would happen, and it's a little bit enhanced digitally.
Wow, hey, it's art.
Yeah.
We enhance digitally in art. But lovely. I like the you cannot see my hand. Just the separation here, and you've got these natural kind of borders here at the bottom, helping create these little windows into different worlds. And then there you are. So I just thought that this one was really fun.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Whose is this?
Anybody online? Whose is this?
That's me.
Who's name?
Michael Ross.
Oh, hey. Okay, great. Love it. This is over at the Science Center, right?
It's taken from
Fort-
Fort Negley.
Fort Negley. Okay. You've got that breakthrough light from the clouds. I love black and white. You've got this kind of decrepit, aged looking tree that's still got, you've got all these birds, it's got life in it, the light shining down on it. It's a very dramatic looking image. And then you've got all of this kind of encroaching buildings in the background, even though they're farther away than you think. It just says a lot about the skyline of Nashville and how much it's changed over the years. But this tree looks like it's been here for a very long time. And I hope that with all the change going on in the city, the contemporary growing city, things like trees stand a chance of survival. I worry about that sometimes. I feel like they'll clear cut anything. So I like trees, and this is a very nice tree. And you did, yeah, and you did a great job with it. I love seeing all the little dots of blackbirds and all the little texture here at the bottom that makes it look like it's at home in its spot. And so I hope it stays there. But basically, it's just an image that strikes you. And you've got great light and lots of interesting little areas in the frame to look at. So that is why I chose this picture to be in the show. And you guys feel free to ask me anything. I mean, is that your new Leica?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. This is another nice crosswords picture, which is always nice, kind of scene setters for rural areas. Who's anybody here? Okay, well, it's nice. And I think this might be the one that I recommended a crop on just to bring you more into seeing the dog at the end of the road. It may or may not welcome you the closer you get. So
Is that Prim Springs? Anybody know where that is? I think it's Prim Springs, but I'm not sure.
is this?
I don't think he's online. Sire, are you online?
Online.
He is online?
He is online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The side, this is just lovely. Once again, dark into light. That's classic landscape. I love the shape and the fog. And my favorite part of it is the stripes, little yellow, a little bit of yellow that you have in this very muted, moody picture that is leading you either into something very fascinating or something very ominous, one or the other. But it was just well executed, and I enjoyed your framing. And I just felt like, good job. Good seeing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You can, I mean, feel free to ask me anything. I'm not an authority on much.
This is
I had them crop. How did they feel about it?
that's how
How did you
I
feel?
like the size of the crop here.
Okay, the crop, yeah, it just puts all the attention on this great action. I love the ride free. there's a lot going on, a lot of interesting things. Nice life. This kind of is like slice of life, Life magazine. This is New Orleans, right?
Oh, this is Nashville. Downtown.
Nashville, downtown. Woo, we're starting to look interesting. I know this is just great and well executed. And like I said, once you did that crop, it just brought everything together. So I appreciate that you could see what I meant by doing that. And I want for, those who saw the crop and even you knew, but always just pay attention to everything in your frame. I think most of you guys are doing that, but it's really important to take that second and third look before you hit send or before you decide something is done. Play around with it. Play around with cropping. Like I do that all the time. I'm like, I have this shot and I took it and then the picture looks great. But then sometimes I'm like, oh wait, there's another picture in here. Oh wait, there's another picture in here. So just don't be afraid to have fun with it. So I really like this. And thanks for listening because you got in the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the suggestions. Yeah, I thought it really added more value to it once it was dropped, and it looks much better.
Cool. All right, great. Who's landscape? Anybody's?
It's mine.
Hey, Susan. I just said, hey.
Hi.
So this to me is along the same lines as like the image we started with the car. You've got all of this kind of muted tonal range down here at the bottom, and it's nice and kind of gritty, and it's nice that every train car is pretty much the same color as the grass below. But then you've got these little pops of life that start to fill the top of your frame. So, I mean, it's kind of weird to say that everything below the trains looks dead and everything above the train looks alive, but that's like the best way I can describe why I decided to choose this picture. You've got nice lines, vertical and horizontal, and you've got interesting clouds in the sky, which add another level of depth to the photo in itself. And then, of course, the crane or a contemporary Nashville is just the preview to what's coming next because they're always building something. So
I have the crane in me.
yes, and the crane is great. And I think the lines in the crane kind of mirror like the outside of the building. Nobody can see my hands, but there's just like a lot of little interesting texture things to look at in this photograph. And that's part of the reason I like it. It's even kind of mirrored vertically here. So there's just like a lot of neat little geometric things that make this landscape appealing and fun to look at. Because the more you look, even if you never saw those things, I'm pointing them out, you'll see them now. It makes the image interesting to look at. So,
Thank you.
yep, you're welcome. All right. Oh, this was another one that ended up. Susan, yes, you cropped. What do you think about that?
That's mine too.
Okay. So you.
I liked it, but I didn't take your advice.
Okay.
I cloned out the bottom part.
Okay.
Because I personally liked it, but then I thought, let me see what it looked without, and then I liked it even better.
Yeah.
So I took the bottom, because I thought maybe that's what you were trying to do, get rid of that distraction down there.
Right. That exactly it.
I just like the whole thing. I like cropping the tree.
Which is fine, but that's what I wanted, was to get rid of the distraction. And I'm glad that you found a workaround to cropping.
Yeah, I was very surprised at how nice it came out. Cloned out. I was surprised.
Well, you did
to go evenly. I like the way it turned out.
Yeah, you did a great job cloning it out, because I did not. I thought you cropped it when we hung it at the Preston.
No, I cloned it out.
Well, I'm glad that you found that workaround and that you liked it even better. That's what I thought. It's like this picture's almost there. It would just be amazing if this barn thing, I'm not sure what that is, wasn't here.
It was a barn, and I think it had like tools and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it didn't bother me until I took it out.
Well, I'm glad that we could come to a mutual agreement. So cool. Yeah, but that's why. And it just put all the focus on this beautiful light and the tree and the two buildings in the back with all the symmetry. So good job. I mean, you saw it. That's why I was like, she saw it, but
I saw it in a car.
yeah. And I was like,
When we drove by it, and then we had to make a U-turn and go back
but this,
and take the picture.
yeah, but this is what I mean about play around, picture within the picture. Like she saw it, but without that building in there and elevated it. And I don't know, do you have a picture of where she cropped it? Do you have a copy of her crop? Okay, well, you saw the photo and you'll see the photo in the show and you'll see the difference. So good job. Is this yours as well?
No.
Okay, who? Tamara? Okay. Is she not here?
Tamara, are you online?
Okay, well, it's beautiful. And I love the delicate details of the feathers and how that plays out the background. And it's just in the most perfect position to have light shine through and create like a backlit look. So these feathers are really the show, but I mean, it's just the shape and how it follows it up. It was, yeah, that's just beautiful, stunning. She's not here, so we'll move on, but yeah, that's really great. Okay. Who's? Okay, okay. And I think I might have had you tone this one differently. What?
Actually, I had already sent this off to the planner when I got your advice, but I had already done what you suggested before.
Okay, okay. Okay, so.
It was either, something different with the Tony. I think what I did was I bumped up the contrast in the wall a little bit.
Yeah, and to make it pop just a little bit more. Okay, all right, I see you. I see. Okay. So when you got that, you were like, okay.
Yeah, I got to look at it after I had seen it in. And I thought
Yeah. So this is fun. This is also something that I would have stopped to shoot. And that's why part of it is like, I was like, this is fun, but he needs to saturate those colors, huh?
I was on my way home.
Oh, okay. Nice. I love it. I love the shape of it, the just the long vertical and the framing in the door and the little flower, the little leaves peeking through with the fall colors. I love it. It's yeah. I would also hang this.
I like it.
Yeah. Because it doesn't matter. I mean, you've got this point of color, you've got this, you've got the shadow, everything bringing you back down to the main event, which are these beautiful little colorful dots and all of the lines bringing you in. You see everything. This is nice. And then the rust also brings your eye down into the frame and the colors match here. That's really nice. And we're back at the beginning. Woo!
There are, Deshaun Lewis has some gorgeous photos in the show.
Oh yeah, are they not?
They're not in that folder because that folder was for, people said it was okay to have it on social media.
So we can't show, do you want to show those or no?
I don't think, I just tried to pull it up in Dropbox wants to send the verification that we're on a new machine. So
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, do you want to go to the website? You gave me another link.
He's not on the website.
Because he didn't want to have it on social media. Yep,
So
okay.
I say everybody go to the shop.
Yes.
And you can see Deshawn's wonderful art. And
So-
I want to thank John before we turn back over to Carl and so forth. It's been a pleasure having a photographer looking at our photos. You know, she's with the rust here. You know, this is the way we look and see and think that it's just wonderful to have.
Well,
people.
good.
I mean, sometimes we have great jurors, but they're not photographers.
Well, I'm like, I was hoping you guys weren't bored, but I mean, that's just why I picked them. So, and that's what I heard that you guys would have wanted to know that. So, anybody have any questions? Everybody's good.
Anybody got any questions online?
Anybody want to ask me maybe why a photo wasn't chosen? Did you submit something and you weren't chosen? No, nobody wants to know that. Okay. I would tell you. Well, like I said before, I would just, like I try to say, just hone your eye, play around with your photos, you know, be curious. Don't settle for just like the first take of something. You can always revert to save or revert to original or whatever, but just have a little bit of fun and just, you know, a picture you never would have considered cropping or cloning something out of, check it out, see what happens. I mean, when you're at the computer being creative, you got nothing but time. You may as well. So.
In the chat, Tricia says, love your style.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so you can ask, I mean, anything? No, we're good? All right, 7:40. All right, thank you.
All right, Carl's coming over. Carl, if you'll speak to this computer. There we go.
All right, that was wonderful, thank you. It was a great show. Next month, 24th August, it's our book month. We never got around to picking a book. Emily had to drop out because she was doing work. So everybody's going to bring in a photography book that they love, and then everybody's going to kind of talk about that book. Kind of a show and tell thing. We've done it before, and it really turned out really great. I think we can do it again. And I'm asking, if you have a book that you produced yourself of your photography, bring that in too. Kind of show people what you've done with your photography. Other than that, I think that's everything. Any questions about anything? Hopefully next month is still going to be here. Hopefully this is not going to get any worse. Yeah, I know. All right, well, I think we're done. There's no questions. Be short and sweet.
You're welcome.
I know, and I remembered your name. After I went over that.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Here's another chat comment. Just put up, Laura.
It's really unusual and really generous for a juror to offer.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, sorry for this little technical snafus, but yeah, I think everything went well, and everybody out there, I think, was able to see it quite well. So. Lee. Yeah. How's it going, Lee?
Good, Rob. How are you?
Good, doing well.